Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today I have a very interesting video for you. I wanted to do a little maintenance, a little help on, or at least take this knife apart. I was going to tune this a little bit, but this is such a unique new knife. This is the Bolt Arcus, A-R-K-U-S. That's the name of the bolt. This is a sheep's foot design with a hollow grind. It's made by Bolt, and which is manufactured by WE Knives, and it is a liner lock, but it also is a button liner lock. It has a button there. So I wanted to tune this because I felt like the detent was a little strong, because when I try to front flip it, it's a little tough for me. I like lighter detents, as you all know, and I felt like this was a little stronger detent, but at the same time I wanted to see what makes this work. It's got a beautiful clip, definitely a deep pocket, relatively deep pocket carry clip. You get about that deep. It's not going to be super deep. Part of that is because you have this lanyard hole thing right here that does move around a bit, and I guess theoretically could be taken out if you don't need it. It looks like it's just rotates freely, so I guess this could be removed if I needed to. But anyways, let's take this apart and see what we got here. These look like T10 screws, so let me get my T10 screws out here. Sorry, T8s. These look like T8s, so let's take a look. T8s, T8s, T8s. All right, so they're T8s. So let's go ahead and take this little guy apart. It looks like it might not be a captive pivot, so we will have a second bit driver just in case we need to loosen that up. Yep, I'm gonna definitely need a second one. I can already see it moving. That is a bummer. I do like captive pivots, and it does make a little bit of a difference to have a captive pivot for sure. But I mean, the price that you get for this knife, it's a WE knife, CPM 20CV steel. It's got a titanium clip, a hollow grind at that. All right, so there's the scale. It's interesting, this goes through. Does this come free? All right, so as you can see, this is attached by this pivot. Oh, okay, it does screw out. All right, so that screws out. Interesting. A little bit like a plunge lock, sort of, but not really. As you can see, that went through there and then screwed into there. That is fascinating. And this is apparently the, whatever you call it, the lanyard hole sort of attachment thingamabob. And then we have one standoff. Got a little oil everywhere. All right, so we have some stuff around the over-travel stop, not over-travel stop, but the blade stop, or the blade pin. Don't think I'm using the right term, sorry. It's a little late. We're doing this kind of late after my live stream. I wanted to do this right away because I really wanted to carry this tomorrow. So I wanted to tune the detent. I felt like this was pretty strong. So what we do here normally is we bend this in. This is a steel, so I got to be careful. We want to make sure how far over we go. So I try to find a spot that's relative. So I'm looking at, so about right there. So now let's see. So I'm going to use the light just to make sure it's going to be out of the camera. I just need to find where the spot is. So I'm trying to see where there's a break right there. Just want to make sure I don't go too far. All right, that's enough for me. So I probably sped this up. So what I was doing is I was moving this ever so slightly. I want to just see how much did I move it from originally. Originally, I could almost get this screwdriver in here, right? And then I could originally get this in here. Now I can't. But so that means I definitely moved it a little bit. And I don't like to move it too much. I want to make sure that we move it just so slightly. And then we can always come back and redo it, okay? You never want to overbend it and then have to bend it back, because then you get fatigue on the metal. Just want to do ever so slightly. That's my opinion, at least my approach to this. Other people may have different views to it, but I tend to be very, very cautious when I do this. And I'm going to, real quick, get my measure to see if I have skiff bearings, if they might actually fit this. I don't think they will, but let's just check. Okay, I'm back. So I want to see what the pivot is. Is it a 5mm? So there's 5. Yeah, so it needs to be a 5mm, and I don't think I have 5mm. I don't. I have 3/16, so none of those will fit. I am getting some in though, so I could replace them. So the best we can do is we can just clean these washers for now, and that's what I'll do. Okay, so let's clean the inside there. I think they said for this that they eventually want to have different types of scales that you could put on here. So that would be really cool. It'd be nice to get some titanium or fat carbon or something, but these aren't bad G10s. I like these. So very cool. All right, so what I'm doing, I'm going to assemble all of this first, and then we're going to do a little bit of oil, and then we're going to put the button release in here, which looks like a very important part, obviously. Since these are steel, I can just put a little drop here. Now, I always like to have that open part of the washer face toward there, so I'm going to have that facing inside. So before I put the blade on, let's oil that detent ball. I like to put it into the actual detent track here. Because I suspect we really want that to be pretty tight in there, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of this on top of this lock bar thing that goes in here. Now I need to make sure I thread this through. And then we put the pivot back on. Looks like it's centered. Okay, that is much better. I think it was a little too tight on the detent for me. And that's nice and locked in there. That's locked in there. So let's just tighten everything up here. Okay, so it's not the most comfortable thumb studs, but I tell you, with a really strong detent, they're very uncomfortable. But with a detent that's now, I think, better tuned for the front flipper like this, that's much more, let me get up there, much more comfortable front flipper. I can now do that. I think I might even be able to, let's see here. Can we do the front? I guess we could. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Yeah, it's kind of hard to do, but you can certainly front flip it now, and the flipper works just fine. And then I can release the liner lock just fine, get in here, drop it, and it slides shut. Okay, that's much better. Reverse flick, front flick, yeah, nice. Flipper. Let's see here, front flip left-handed, yep, works really nice. There we go. The only bummer is they don't have a left-handed clip, and that seems like a miss. And all you needed to do was just, you know, if they made a scale, just a left-handed scale, all they had to do, reverse these two scales, you know, and then drill it out over like they did over here. And that would be totally cool for that. Just mill that in on this side, right? I mean, because it is angled, you would have to make a different type of clip, so that would be an investment. And that is a lot of money for 10% of the population for sure. But if this takes off, as I think it has a chance of taking off, I think this would be really cool. So this right here is called, what do they call this thing? The Boltlock. They called it a Boltlock. It's a proprietary Boltlock. So this ties into the liner lock right here, and I just screwed it in, and it locks in with some, you know, with some 242 Loctite. Works really well. And then you oil it. Everything works just really nicely. I do like that. I do think it's going to take the 5mm washers, and I did order some of those, so we can always put those in and try them. But the action is really good. Yeah, the action, once you get past that liner, look at that, it just drops really nicely. You got pretty good action. See, it's cut away. You can see that. All I need to do is just get my hand in there, drop it, and it closes just fine. And if my finger gets tired from doing that, I just use the button. There you go. And now the front flips really nicely. It's not so hard that it's ripping my hand or something. I can just put my thumb right there. Yeah, now perfect, yeah. Before I couldn't really do that. It was kind of really resisting, but if I just put my thumb right in the corner, there you go. That works really nicely. And the flipper works great. Yeah, so it's definitely more of a light switch now, as long as you get the grip. But you got a light switch push down, right? You don't want to go like that, so you slide off. Got to push and down. And you can do the push button. You just got to get on top like that and do it, right? And that works pretty good. Yeah, left-handed, so you still got to figure out where the nice switch is. There's no jimping on there, and I think a little jimping might have been, I don't know, might have been nice. A little jimping here could have given you a little better grip on that flipper. But I think the idea is that they don't want it super, super tight. They don't want it a lot of jimping so that people are expecting a super strong flipper detent. Because primarily, you know, it is a front flipper, so they want people to be able to come up here and front flip it. Or use the thumb studs. And again, if you had perfectly rounded volcano type thumb stud, you could probably have a little more force. But as it is, you want to get underneath it and just kind of be on the side there and push up. Just like this, you want to be on the side and push up. Likewise with the reverse flick. Yeah, I do like that. That is so much better. All right, so let's check the blade rock. Do we have a blade rock? Let's just see. There we go. Nice. Nice. All right. That is a much better tuned knife. I do like that. So I think I'm gonna like this. I think it's gonna be pretty cool. I mean, it does have a little weird blade to handle ratio right there because of this incredibly obnoxious lanyard hole. But I think the other version of this, I think there was one that had, if I'm looking here on the computer, the other one's called a Stratus. And I think that one, if I look at the picture here, that one definitely seems to be not as a prominent, it's flatter like this, if you will. So there you go. But I do like this. I like that. Nice and comfortable. I like the jimping up here. These thumb studs kind of grow on you. Knowing that these screw in, then I'm sure these screw. So if I got some pliers, I could probably screw these off and put some volcanoes on here. Yeah, some things you could potentially do if you wanted to. But very cool. I do like that. Gotta make sure you get up here and get some traction. I'm not lefty, so it's always hard for me to front flip as a lefty, but right-handed, because I can grab the clip, that's pretty simple, right? That's super convenient to flip like that. There you go. Nice and solid. Let's see. One more time. We'll check the centering. Yeah. That looks dead center. Very cool. All right. So that right there is the, this is the Arcus. The Arcus by Dark Bolt. Really cool, little nice. That's their logo right there. And this is 20 CPM 20 CV. So it's nice. Super seam premium steel with a hollow grind, which is really nice. Nice satin finish. I do like that with a beautiful swedge. That is really nice. And it's rather rounded. It's not harsh corners. Beautiful hollow grind, as you can see right there. A nice hollow grind with a sharp edge. Really cool. Yeah, very good. A little tuning went a long way. I don't even think I need to put skiff washers in here because these are buttery smooth now. You clean them out, clean everything out. It's running really nicely. And just a little lighter detent, tuning that was perfect. Didn't need to do much at all. For me, that was great. So if you have one that's really light detent, you just do the opposite. You can make it a tighter detent. So, as if you notice, this pin does screw out. I put some Loctite on that to keep it in place. Put some Loctite on the, it's not captive pivot, so you're going to need 2 screwdrivers like I did, right? You're going to have to be able to go like that and hold it. So I just hold one here, like that, and then I get the other one here, and then you screw like that, okay? Very simple. And very good. I do like this a lot. I think I'm going to enjoy that. So the Dark Bolt Arcus, quick little tuning. Definitely want to check that out. I think that's going to be a fun knife, and we'll have more thoughts on it when we do the review, but I thought I'd just go through this real quick. So some of it will be fast forwarded, some of it won't be. Hey, if you found this interesting, informative, or just fun to watch, would you consider hitting the like button down below? And if you've already hit that like button, would you consider hitting the subscribe button? Liking and subscribing to my videos really, really helps out the channel a lot. It helps us to grow and get bigger so that we can hopefully do more and maybe have more vendors and more knife retailers, you know, support the channel. And that means more good things for you guys. You know, there's already some wonderful links, some affiliate links that I have in my description, also some discount codes at certain retailers. Check them out in my description, and that's what I want to do. I want to do more stuff like that. And if you've already done this, subscribe to the account, if you've already done the subscription, if you will, then would you consider hitting the notification button? That way you can be notified of future content when it comes out. And if you've done all that, maybe consider checking me out on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. That's robs_nerdy_knives on Instagram. Hey, thanks so much for watching today. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.